Hi friends, and welcome to your science lesson for today. Today we are going to be learning about matter. Do you remember what matter is? Matter is anything that takes up space. Matter is all around us. This desk is matter. This board is matter. Your pencil, your eraser, your notebook, all those things are made of matter. So we have been talking about how we can classify matter. Now, remember, you can classify matter through using five different properties. Do you remember what those five different properties are? Well, you can use properties like shape. You can use properties like mass. You can use temperature. You can use flexibility and texture. You can classify items that have matter with any of these properties. Why? Because matter has properties, and a property is one part of what something is like. These are the five properties that we're using in order to classify matter. So, shape is whenever we think about the shape of the items around us, the items that are made of matter. Mass is when we think about how much matter does that item have. Temperature is when we think about how hot or how cold matter is. Flexibility is when we talk about, can we bend this? Will it bend and not break? And texture is when we talk about, how do these items feel? How does the matter that we're classifying feel? So, since we're classifying items this week, I found 5 items that I want to classify according to their properties. So these are the 5 items I wanted to show you that I found that I wanted to classify. Now you're going to be doing the same thing, so pay close attention. You're going to be finding items in your home that you want to classify. And you're going to choose a property in which to classify them by. So, I have my 5 items, and now I'm going to classify my 5 items that are made of matter. I'm going to start, and I'm going to classify them by their texture. Now I look at my items and I think, how can I classify these items by their texture? Well, I can feel each item and think about whether they're smooth or they are bumpy. So now that I have chosen my items and I know I want to classify them by texture, I'm going to make 2 groups, smooth and bumpy. So now I'm going to grab each item and I'm going to feel it to decide what the texture is and where I can put that item. So I'm going to start with this board. This is called a geoboard that we use for math. I'm going to run my hand through it and I feel that this geoboard is bumpy. So I'm going to put it on our bumpy side. I also have a rubber band, and when I run my fingers through it, I feel that the rubber band is actually really smooth. Now, I'm going to look at my balloon. My balloon is actually also very smooth when I run my fingers through it. I also have a popsicle stick. Where do you think my popsicle stick's gonna go? Smooth or bumpy? Yeah, it's also pretty smooth. And I have a can of tuna. Now, the bottom part of my can is actually very bumpy. I'm going to focus on that part today when I'm classifying this item. So I'm going to put it on the bumpy side. So now I have classified my items from smooth to bumpy. I classified matter with the property of texture. Awesome. Now I'm going to do another example. I'm going to move these out of the way. And now I want to classify items by understanding their flexibility. Remember, all the matter that I have here is made matter. We can classify matter by its properties. So I'm going to go ahead and classify it by flexibility. So now I'm going to look at each item and I'm going to think about whether it's flexible or not flexible. So I have made my two groups, flexible, not flexible, because I'm thinking about flexibility. And I'm going to start with my balloon. Remember, when we talk about flexibility, we're talking about, can we bend this item? Yes, we can bend this item and not break it. So, all right, so I'm going to start with my first item. I'm going to start with my geoboard. I'm using the same items. And I feel like this, I cannot bend it. So this item is not flexible. Now I look at my can, and this item is also not flexible. My balloon, like I already said earlier, this one is flexible. My rubber band, I can bend it and it doesn't break. So this one is flexible. And then I have my wooden stick. What do you guys think about this popsicle stick? Do you think it's flexible or not flexible? Let me bend it and see. Ooh, it looks like if I keep... Uh-oh, it broke. What does that tell me? That this item is not flexible, because if I bend it, it can break. So this item is actually not flexible at all. So now I've separated my items. I've classified my matter by flexible and not flexible. Now it's your turn to find some items at home and to choose a property that you can classify them by. Remember, you can classify by flexibility, texture, mass, temperature, or even shape. Find 5 items at home, classify the items, take a picture of it, and upload it to Schoology. All right, friends, I can't wait to see what items you guys decide to classify. Don't forget, matter is anything that takes up space.